Heidi, and this has the charter is the actors Heidi and the goat boy and Clara. She's is a girl who gets ill sick. But guess what happened when she went to Clary's home? You guessed, and I will read for you. And first, I just read one chapter, because it was late today. Hey, and her Heidi's grandfather was very old, and he was unfriendly. But her grandfather was happy when he sees Clara. But wait, I don't think so. So, let's read one chapter to find out. Okay, let's start. Chapter 1, Meeting Grandfather. Heidi felt cross and tired as aunt that pulled her up the steep slope. I'd go faster if I wasn't wearing all my clothes, says Heidi. You need them at your grandfather's and I won't want to carry it, says her aunt angrily. Do you think grandfather will want me? Heidi asked nervously. Aunt Did shook her head. I don't know. He's a miserable old man, and he hasn't seen you since you were a baby. But I've taken for you long enough, so now it's his turn. At last, they reached grandfather's house. At the very top of the mountain, Dick rapped sharply on the door. It creaked open, and an old man peered out. What do you want? He asked gruffly. That is your granddaughter, Heidi did explain. Your dad's own child. I've brought her to live with you. Take her away. I don't want her, said the old man, trying to shut the door. I don't care, Dick snapped. You have to take her. Both her parents are dead. I've found a good job in Frankfurt, and she can't come with me. With that, Harry's aunt turned and ran down the mountain. Grandfather stopped silently at Heidi. Heidi stared back. He doesn't want me, he thought sadly. But where else can I go? You'd better come in, says grandfather with a scold. Heidi stepped into the hut and looked around. There doesn't seem to be enough room anywhere. So where shall I sleep? He asked. Grandfather shocked. She didn't even look at her. You have to find your own bed, he groaned. Heidi looked again and saw a lad in the corner. Feeling serious, she climbed up into a hayloft. From the window, she could see the green valleys from below here, near the plants washing in the wind. She lifted some of the sweet-smelling hay, lifting it into the shape of the mattress. I'll sleep here, she called. It's lovely, she showed some senses. Grandfather murmured to himself. Calm down now, he ordered. Heidi watched Grandfather blow to the embers of the fire, making the flame blaze. Fetching a bowl, he filled the brim with rich, creamy milk. Here you are, he says. Then he toasted bread and cheese over the fire until they were generous golden brown. Delicious smells filled the hut, and Harry realized how hungry he was. She licked up the oozing drips of the cheese, crunching the toast, and drank the milk into the last drop. Through the open door, she was. The sky and the mountains below in the setting sun. I like it here, Grandfather. She said. That night, Heidi snuggled down in the hayloft. As she fell asleep, she wondered why Grandfather lived all alone high in the mountains. What happened to make him so sad and unfriendly? Good night, Heidi. The good boy. What's that? Early next morning, Heidi woke to the sound of bells. What's that? She sat up. Sunshine poured through the hayloft window, turning her straw bed into a shimmering gold. Quick, she dressed and shot down the ladder. A boy was standing at the door, whistling. This is Peter, the good boy. Grandfather told her. He come for a little swan and a little bear. Two goats, one white and one brown, pushing past him and sniffed happily. He giggled at the little hand. The tongues tickles, she laughed. Do you want to come with me? Peter shouted over the beasts and bells. I'm going up to the mountains to find fresh grass for them. Can I? Heidi asked Grandfather. I suppose, he replied, but have your breakfast first. He sat on the stool and milked Little Bear. Then he handed Heidi a bowl of fresh milk. Come on, says Peter, and soon as she finished, he could stay at the back to make sure none of the goats gets lost. As they ran over the rocks to the mountain pasture, Peter showed Heidi the mountain secrets. He pointed to an eagle nest hidden in the crack peaks and the spot where white flowers grew. The mountains looked as shine, shimmering handfuls of jewels over it. Heidi had never seen so many flowers. She picked green, blue, and yellow bunches for Grandfather. Every day, Heidi went out with Peter and the goat, and every day her cheeks grew rosier and her eyes grew more sparkly. Grandfather fed her crusty bread. At night, he told a story by the fire. Heidi had never been happier. Until one day morning, the door flew open and there stood Aunt Tate in a brand new dress. I come for Heidi, she announced. I should never have left her with you in the first place. No, cried Heidi, sadly afraid. I like it here. I want to stay with Grandfather. Did innovator. I found the place and you and friends first, he told Grandfather. Clara's this meant a little girl who always ill wants a friend to keep her company. If Heidi's behave, her aunt went on. Mr. Seaman will pay her and buy her some fine new clothes. It's a great transfer. Grandfather has been looking cross and crossed her during his speech. Take her and spoil her then, he bellowed at Date. But don't bother coming back. Ever. Just go. Ignoring Heidi's protest, did Grandpa Aunt and dragged her aside. As they left, Heidi saw Grandfather stay alone, his head in his hand. Poor Grandfather, cried Heidi, tears streaking down her face. Come on, Heidi, said Date, pushing her down into the mountains. I'm sorry I have ever left you with that sad old man. Why is he so sad? Asked Heidi. He thinks the world's so bad. Please. Her aunt replied, first his wife died, then your father, his only child, which is all his money, and died too. But your grandfather just made things worse for himself. He says that there was only mysteries in the world and shut himself away up here. Forget him, says Heidi. Think about Frankfurt. I'll never forget him, cried Heidi. It's for your own good, did declare straight up. Heidi was quiet, but secretly made a promise. One day I'll come back to him. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I've read chapter 2. I don't know. Thank you for watching. Bye.